There's actually a Harry Cain. It's not the real one, but there is a Harry Cain on the Angry Ginge team.
Here's Harry Cain, scored 2 last week. You need to be alive for stuff like this. As soon as it goes in the goal or the ball goes dead, it's 2v2. PK humble, keep an eye on him on the outside, left side. Harry Cain goes in his own.
Harry, great to have you on HID. How are you today?
Yes, very well, thank you. Yourself?
Fantastic, my friend. So we'll get straight into the questions before going into analysis. Just a few questions kind of hit where you are in terms of the analysis, if you used it before and that kind of stuff. Have you used performance analysis before, either video or stats based? I know you've played as high as step 3 and step 4, but obviously Ballers League's a bit more now.
Not to a great extent. I think the only bit of analysis that we've done is via VO and Huddle. I think it's Huddle. I was using that at Northwich 1874, where they kind of highlight some key moments and kind of put notes on the game, but not necessarily specific to you or your position. It was more as a team, what could we have done in this situation? How could we improve it? What do we therefore need to go away and work on in training? But there was no individual analysis. It was more kind of team-based.
What's your current view on how analysis can kind of support your development and get you to the next level? If you think there's a next level.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. There's always opportunity to learn and progress and develop as a player, but I've never really been exposed to analysis before on an in-depth scale for myself. I'd say that I don't know what extent it can improve my game because I've not necessarily learned from it before. I've not kind of taken too much away from it other than say the notes that we've been given, but realistically that you kind of brush over it. You don't really take into too much consideration what's been said because you know it's going to get worked on in training. But then in terms of an individual analysis, which is hopefully what this is going to be, I think there's definitely potential to help kind of shape my decision making in the games, maybe work on my positioning in where I'm placing myself on the pitch, because I can subconsciously kind of improve via seeing what I've been doing in the analysis. So yeah, I think there's definitely room for improvement, and that's why I've come on board. Is I wanna make sure that I'm putting myself in the best position to be performing on a weekly basis in the Ball League. So I'm excited to sort of see how you break my game down. Also a little bit nervous because obviously you're going to be telling me the do's and don'ts, but I suppose that's all part of growing as a person and a player as well.
Kind of halfway through that, you mentioned about your development points. Do you believe there's any areas of your game you'd especially kind of want to look at, especially with Ballers League being different to your 11s? How do you see kind of individual development coming there?
Yeah, I'd say the two things would be my composure on the ball. So maybe selecting the right decision in the right moment, whether that be to take on the 1v1 or whether that might be to recycle the ball. I think the one thing in my career that I've always been great at, but also could probably hinder some of my decision making, is the fact that I'm very direct. And sometimes potentially too direct in the fact that I might try and force something rather than just recycle and wait for the right moment. So it's kind of hopefully being able to see those moments of, right, that's the situation where you'd probably recycle because there's an overload for the opposition, or the angle's not quite there to take the shot on, therefore recycle the ball and wait for the right moment. But then at the same time also potentially, like I say, how do I create my own 1v1 situations? How can I be creative to be able to get a shot off? I think the Ball League's very much about working your shot. Can you get a shot on target to force a save or even a parry from the keeper? So getting as many opportunities to get shots on goals and how I can do that in my performance.
So yeah, I think you've kind of alluded to it over the last 3 questions, but what made you say yes to working with the Agent Sport and the HID in particular?
Reason I'm taking it on board is to progress and develop my own game. Obviously I'm 28, but I still feel as though there's lots to learn. With the Baller League, it's a brand new system. Never really played it before, other than season 1. So we're still learning. I think as a collective, we're still learning. So the more I can kind of analyze the games, the more I can see what scenarios I'm putting myself in, and the more it can help then improve my next performance, then the better for me, really. I think I want to be able to kind of be a step ahead of the competition, and if this is going to help me do that, then great.
Perfect. Let's get into it.